Alright, yeah, so my name is Ashlynn Tucker, and yes, I wrote a book on anxiety. This is my proof copy that I got off of Amazon, but we can get back to that. Alright, so just starting by talking about my passion. Anxiety is something that really is prevalent in my life, and I mainly struggle with my ability to portray my thoughts to those around me. I have a really big problem with having the thoughts in my mind, but not being able to convey to people what I'm trying to say. So one of my biggest passions is trying to help people do that themselves. So anxiety heavily affects me as I know it does others, thus I see a strong value in furthering our knowledge as a society on the effects and topic itself. So then this helped me create my vision. So my original proposal back at the end of junior year was to have an informative and interactive book on anxiety that I would have edited and published. So I got this vision because of my passion, and my biggest goal from this was to have people read the first half and become more informed, and then complete the activities and like the interactive part of the second half to kind of learn what it is and then connect it to their lives. So then this is my process. So first semester, I spent the first few months doing a lot of research on anxiety, more of like the factual things. And then I created the first rough draft of my first half of my book. And then I found an editor, and we started to make a plan for publishing while she was editing. And I also had meetings with her, kind of like Alexis. Hers was every Saturday. Mine was kind of bi-weekly because I was still writing a lot of mine. Like she had a lot of her poems done in the summer. I was still kind of going, so me and my editor were kind of just working together on the process. And then the second semester, I had the first half finalized, edited, and completed. And then the second half, I started to create and edit. And the publishing process began, and the book signing planning began also. So, talking about my contacts and mentors, I had two main mentors for my project. One of them was Miss Stephanie, just like Alexis, we had the same editor. And my other mentor was a psychologist that helped me to make sure that all of my content was psychologically correct. So, yeah, that's it. Alright, book summary. So, the part one is called The Basics, and that is the actual book content. I'll show you guys if it makes sense. So like the first half is like actual writing, like an actual book, and then the second half is all like the activities, like a journal. So the first part is 5 chapters, and they're all just different things to help you learn about anxiety. It has a very big conversational tone. For people who know me, I want them to read the book and hear my voice. I want it to be very calm and very, you figure out what anxiety is to you, don't let me impress it at all. And it's also very fact-based, but still conversational. So then part 2 is the activities, which is like a journal thing for them to really self-explore. So it has over 30 activities that include prompts, charts, different things, and it's really, like I said, for self-guided exploration, because I really want people to be confident in what they're saying in their mind. So I want them to read the first half and get what they're trying to say, and then actually put it into words for the second half. So some of my roadblocks, there was many, don't let this fool you, there's not just 4. So, writer's block was a really big issue at the beginning because I knew what I wanted to say, but I didn't know how to get it across, because I was like, I say it a lot in the book too, I know what anxiety is to me, but I don't know what it is to you, but I'll do whatever I can to help you figure it out. So it was becoming really hard for me to, like I said, put my thoughts into words. But then another big thing was time management. I was constantly setting deadlines, like I wanted to be done with this chapter by this time, or this half by this time, and they always changed. Never did they stay the same. So then formatting was probably one of the biggest things that changed, because at the beginning I was like, I'll just make a flip book and have 2 sections where you can have one this way and then flip it and it'll be another book, and that just didn't happen at all. But it's okay, because I still have both of my sections and it all still worked out. I just had to adjust to the formatting. And then publishing was also very difficult also. I did end up self-publishing through Amazon and Kindle Direct Publishing. So it was really hard to get the activities into the publishing, because the typing was easy, but trying to get like the pictures from one thing to another became very difficult. Alright, so my finished product, a published book. Alright, so I was able to use this year in SIP to put my vision into action. I now have a 77-page book with over 30 interactive activities that was self-published through Amazon and Kindle Direct Publishing. And so these are some of the examples of the activities. In the second half, there's a bunch of charts. This is a contact list, and the first contact is me. And the next one is like my victories. It's so that they can come there and see all the things that they've accomplished, so that anytime that they feel down on themselves, they can just go check their victories and get themselves back up. And then also I have my letter to you. There's a lot of it's journaling, some of it's filling in the things, and then like I said, there's some charts too. But the one over there is called My Letter to You. It's so you can write a letter to someone but not ever actually send it, so that way you don't have to hold back at all, and you can really fully see what your mind is truly trying to say. So now I'm going to read the first page of my book. All right. Determining the difference between random waves of anxiousness and constant feelings of stress due to having a diagnosable disorder can be immensely difficult to figure out in your everyday life. Getting worked up about the 7-page paper you have due tomorrow may give you drastic feelings of stress, but that does not necessarily mean you have chemical imbalances inside your brain. Anxiety is a single term that defines multiple disorders that tend to have symptoms of constant stress and fear. Blah, 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 right? I promise it's not all going to be like that. But in order for this book to actually work, you're going to need that definition to stay in the back of your mind. How can you help or adapt to something if you don't have the basic definition in your head? So there, I gave you one. I know it might not be exactly what anxiety means to you, but that is exactly what this book is for. I want you to use that basic definition as a blueprint to create a definition of your own that makes sense to you. So this is just my special thanks. I genuinely could not have gotten this far or achieved any of this without support from my friends and my family and just all the people that are here for me. It genuinely amazed me to see how many people wanted to see me succeed. I constantly, with all the roadblocks that I hit, always had someone behind me, helping me, doing anything that they could for me. And it was just really amazing. And then also I want to give this special thanks to presentation, all of the teachers, Miss Roos especially, all the people that really had my back and were my emotional support through this whole thing. I mean, imagine writing a book on anxiety while having anxiety. And then getting a presentation about it. But then also I want to give a really big, immense thank you to all of the wonderful people in the SIP program. I genuinely could not have done this without you. I cried, like 3 times a week? And they all took turns comforting me. But really, honestly, could not have done this with everyone around me at all. And so then, like Alexis said, just to kind of reiterate, we do have a book signing on May 8th from 7 to 8 with remarks at 7:30 at the Heine Brothers on Douglas Loop. And my book will be for sale there for $10, but if you want to buy it before or after, it'll be on sale on Amazon for $15 to search.